Yo, what is up, boys? Partywaffles here, and today I'm going to share with you guys my macros that I used to end #1 on the ladder last season. Let's get right into it, okay? So these macros are going to save you time, they're going to save you energy, they're going to save you keybinds. Let's get right into it. I'm basically just going to scroll through them, through my bars, tell you what's a macro, and tell you how it functions, okay? So we're going to go left to right, top to bottom. So let's start with the Lichborn heal macro. First one, pretty straightforward. All it does is this, okay? Here's the macro. Before I go though, all these macros are going to be in the Discord in the description, okay? Just join the Discord in the description and there will be a channel called macros. They're all there. So the first macro, the way it functions is like this, okay? If you have runic power and you press it, it's a Lichborn healing macro. So if I press it, it's going to heal me. And yeah, and I spam it, it's just going to spam heal me. And that's it, right? That's the macro. It's a Lichborn healing macro. If you don't want to spam heal yourself with it, just press it once and use it as a normal Lichborn. It will use a coil, but it's not a huge issue. So the next thing we have here is going to be my leap macro. Again, this is just a focus macro though, okay? There's nothing crazy about this, but I'll show you anyways. Simple as that. Nothing special, no modifiers. The next thing we have here is going to be a heal macro. This is for my pet, so the way this works, it's this key right here. So what it does is, it'll just death coil my pet, right? See that? Boom, big heal on my pet right there. Johnny Appleseed gets a big heal, and he's good to go, right? So let's go next. This one right here, again, it's just another heal, but this is just a health stone keybind. So it always puts the health stone there, even when you don't have one. But let me show you. It's pretty straightforward. Anyways, there you go. Boom, / use health stone. Simple as that. Blood Fury, Racial, nothing. This one right here, so my trinket is a keybind. All it does is / use 14. So this is the 14th slot right here. Any trinket you have there, it's just going to use it. So it's kind of nice for PvE if I want to switch my trinkets or anything like that. I don't have to drag the trinket on the bar every time. Nothing too intense though. Down here on this row, so my pet attack macro. This one is super important. I press this arguably more than I press anything. So what this does is if my pet's dead, it's going to summon my pet for me. So it's two things in one. It'll summon the pet if it's dead. If the pet's alive and I press it, it's just going to attack the target. It's my pet attack macro, right? So I'm pressing this a ton. Anytime I'm changing a target, I'm sending my pet on it with this. And then if my pet's dead, it'll just automatically raise it and I don't have to think about it. So the next one we have is this is nothing, and then my death grip. So my death grip, this is how I'll give you guys a little spiel first. This is how I play the game, okay? I use a 2-button mouse, just 2 buttons on the side. So nothing crazy, no Razer Naga or anything like that. So I mostly do stuff with my keyboard. So the way that I make this work is that I use shift focus modifiers, all right? Most of my things are just the normal ability. If I press it, it'll hit my target. If I hold shift, it'll hit my focus target. So that's usually how I do everything. So yeah, so say I set this guy as my focus target. This guy's the healer right here. This is the DPS I'm fighting. So if I press R, it's going to death grip my target. If I press shift R, it's going to death grip my focus target. So I can grip the healer into the cleave without having to change my target, okay? Which is going to save me time, save me everything, and it's going to make me do more damage. So remember those shift modifiers because that's what I use for basically everything, okay? So the next thing we're going to see here is Mind Freeze. So again, this is going to be another shift modifier. So if I press S, it's going to kick my target. If I press shift S, it's going to kick my focus target. So I can kick healers without changing my target or kick anyone that's my focus. So I have keybinds to set my focus target and for Arena 1-2-3 targeting. So to target Arena 1-2-3, I just use my mouse wheel, and to set focus, I use shift mouse wheel. So those are the only Arena 1-2-3 I use. It's just for targeting, not for actual abilities. So all those are going to be shift modifiers. The next thing we have here is going to be Chains of Ice. So for my Chains of Ice, I have a mouse over macro here. This isn't too important or doesn't really matter much, but now that BG Blitz is coming out, it's kind of nice because you can just Chains of Ice people in the BG without changing your target to them, right? So you won't lose DPS by switching your target. So it's kind of nice actually for BGs now. What else do we have? So Strangulate, I'm gonna go through the shift modifiers fast because you guys should understand it by the time I explained it 3 times already, hopefully. Again, just a shift modifier for my Strangulate. This is what it looks like. It says Asphyxiate because you need to be spec'd into Asphyxiate now to play Strangulate because it's just the way it works now. So again, if I press F, it's going to silence my target. If I press Shift F, it's going to silence the healer because the healer will be set to my focus. Next, Gnaw. So this is what the Gnaw macro looks like. There, you see, I just showed you. That's the focus triangulate, right? I'm targeting this guy. I just press focus. It's on that guy. Simple as that. So the Gnaw macro is nothing crazy. It's the same thing. Again, Shift. If I hold Shift, it's going to gnaw the focus target. If I just press G, it's going to gnaw that guy. So watch, let me show you. I'm spamming Shift G. It goes and gnaws the focus target. Simple as that. Next, we have no keybind, or no macro. Right here, Death and Decay. So these, I use at cursor macros a lot too. So I mostly just use at cursor macros and shift modifier macros, more or less. That's what I use. So this is what this looks like. Death and Decay, usually when you press it, you have to click, right? But this is what mine's like. So I just have the cursor there. I press it, boom, done. So I don't need to click the ground or anything like that to place it. You'll notice a trend because I use those for everything. So that's the at cursor macro. Saves you some time. But it's like you lose accuracy for speed, right? So it depends. Do you want more speed or do you want more accuracy? Because having at cursor, you're going to lose a little bit of accuracy sometimes. Like you might clip something or something like that. But I personally like them more. I just try to be super careful when I'm placing it. No macro. Right here. Again, on my outbreak, this is just a simple one, right? Again, it's just a shift modifier. So if I press shift 1, it's going to dot the healer so that I don't need to change my target, right? Like having to change your target to do every little action is going to make things feel really clunky to you. So having things like this is going to make it a lot nicer. So that's what I have for that. No macro on that. This one right here. So my 3 key is actually a macro. It has Dark Command. Basically, Dark Command is just going to spam on pets, okay? Reason why this is nice, because then the healer can go for a drink. If the pets aren't on your healer, they can try to get a drink in 3s. If you're playing Frost, obviously this one won't affect Frost, but I have this for Frost too. You can pull the pets off, the chill streak, which doesn't matter as much now because you can chill streak off yourself, but still. Just a couple different uses for it. The next thing we have here is the Dark Transformation Huddle macro. This one is huge. This is 3 actions in one, basically. So let me show you how this works. If I don't have a pet, it's going to show Raise Dead, okay? So I can press that to Raise Dead if I want, or that, either one. If I have my pet already, it's going to Dark Transform it. If my pet's already Dark Transformed and I press it, it's going to huddle the pet. So what that does is when the pet's Dark Transformed and you huddle it, it's going to take 50% less damage. So that's really good for not letting your pet die, right? Because some patches, not necessarily right now, but some patches your pet is super important and you really, really don't want to let it die because it's a large chunk of your damage. So that's going to come in really important at those times. The next thing we have here is a Blinding Sleet macro. This is actually a Frost macro, but I have it on my bars anyways because we don't have Empowered Rune Weaponist Unholy anymore, so it doesn't actually matter. But I'll explain this about Frost. So what this does, the gist of this macro is basically you blind and empower Rune Weapon at the same time. So if you guys have played Frost, it's like Frost, after the blind, you have to stun, Death and Decay. You have to get all the globals out and ramp up, right, in a short period of time. So what this does is as soon as you press blind, your empowered Rune Weapon is going to pop. What's going to give you more haste. It's going to give you more rune regen, everything like that. So it's going to make your go a lot smoother. So that's what that's for. The next thing, nothing there. This is an old Gargoyle one shot, but Gargoyle is bad, so we don't play it anymore. So this is just pretty straightforward. It's just going to pop my Racial, my Blood Fury Racial. It's going to use my 13, which is my DPS trinket slot. So if I'm ever playing the on-use trinket, it's going to be in this slot, right? So that's why I just have it there in case we have a different trinket. So that way we don't have to just put each individual trinket in each macro. We can just use /13, 14, etc. So I think I showed you that with the medallion too, right? I think I can't remember if I did. I think I showed you this, but yeah. So this one up here, it's just use 14, right? So it's always going to be this slot on that key. So if I trade my trinkets for PvE or whatever, I don't have to keep dragging them on the bar. Anyways, let's jump back down here though. Sorry about that. So I have another Dark Sim macro as well. Let me just grab it for you. The macros are a little bit broken right now, if you guys will notice, but yeah. So this is what this is a shift mod for Dark Sim right here. So basically, it's the same thing as Strangulate, same thing as all the other ones, right? If I press V, it's going to Dark Sim my target. If I hold Shift, it'll sim the healer. And then another Anti-Magic Zone right here. So this is going to be an at cursor macro. So just like the other one, right? If I have my cursor, I press the keybind, boom. I don't need to like click. There's no green circle to place it. Again, though, it's like you're going to lose accuracy for speed. So it's like, what do you value more, speed or accuracy? Me personally, it's like if I'm in a poly and I have to trinket zone somebody really fast, I just find it quicker not having to like click the ground too, because sometimes if I feel like I can get re-CC'd before I have to click it or something like that. But then a problem is like, say you're placing a zone and you accidentally clip something from the roof or clip whatever with an at cursor, then your zone is liable to go on the roof or go somewhere crazy. So you really need to be careful when you're placing it, but I do like the speed that it brings. This next macro we have here is a leap macro. So it's pretty straightforward though. It's literally just a focus leap if I recall. Yeah, or no, it's not even a focus. Yeah, you don't even need this one, guys. I just made a macro for that, but what you can do for that one is you can just drag your leap on your bar and it'll be fine. The next thing we have over here, this is just a pet. This is a pet focus attack. So all it does is / pet attack at focus, just so that I can send my pet to the healer. Like say I got to stop a healer from drinking, or I just want my pet to float on the healer. I can just spam that to keep my pet over there. Pretty straightforward. Again, it's in the Discord. Over here we have a pet dismiss macro. Let me show you. There's only 2 left, guys. So. Let's see. This one right here is a pet dismiss. Why would you want to dismiss your pet, you ask? Well, let me show you. There, I just dismissed it, right? Simple as that. If you want to reposition your pet, or if you're in a BG and your pet goes to fight somebody and it's super far away, you want to dismiss your pet to resummon it so that it's back in the action. You're in PvE, your pet goes somewhere wrong, you need to reposition it. Someone's hitting your pet, you need to dismiss it so they don't get a proc. There's a couple different reasons, right? So just add that into your arsenal. And then... like I said, I don't use Arena 1, 2, 3 macros. I have Chains 1, 2, 3, but I don't use a Razor Naga, so I don't really have too many for them. I don't really use this very often, maybe once in a blue moon. If I was you and you had a Razor Naga, then I would use, at minimum, kick 1, 2, 3 on your Razor Naga, okay? Because that's the weak point of my gameplay with just using a keyboard is not having kick 1, 2, 3. So if you have a Razor Naga, you could use kick 1, 2, 3, and it'll look just like this, okay? So just set it up on 3 easy buttons for you on the side of your mouse, and then just get used to using it, and it will make you better. But all it's going to do is look like this, right? Just cast it like this, Arena 1, and then change out the Arena 1 to Arena 2, Arena 3, and just put them all in your bars. But that's everything I do, right? Like I don't use a Razor Naga and I ended number 1 on the entire ladder. So I'm sure you guys can probably handle it without one if you don't have one. But if you do, maybe just put kick 1, 2, 3. But yeah, so there you have it, guys. All my macros that I use to succeed as Unholy. And yeah, if you guys like the video, drop a like, drop a comment, hit the subscribe button. I am live 5 days a week full time on twitch.tv/PartywafflesX. I will be live tomorrow on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern for the Twitch drop, the Ghastly Charger, and there's a mount. If you gift 2 subs to a stream, there's a pet that you can get as well. So both of those are eligible for my stream tomorrow, so I hope to see you all there. I will make the Frost macros video next, and yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. Hope this helps you out. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.